For a really long time, I thought I was just bad at being a human. Not in a dramatic way, more like everyone else got a manual for life, and mine was missing half the pages. I was always tired, always overwhelmed, and always one small inconvenience away from completely shutting down. The worst part was that nothing was wrong enough to explain it. No huge tragedy, no dramatic story, just me struggling with normal life and feeling quietly ashamed about it. So I told myself the easiest explanation. I was lazy. And I believed that for years. I was 19, fresh out of high school, deep in that phase where everyone keeps saying, these are the best years of your life, which is a terrifying thing to hear when you're already exhausted. I was in college full-time, working part-time, and trying really hard to look like I had everything together. I didn't. My days were repetitive. Wake up tired, go to class, sit there writing notes that looked important but meant nothing, go straight to work, come home, collapse on my bed and stare at the ceiling like my brain was buffering. Slowly, I stopped doing things I loved. Drawing felt like work. Hanging out with friends felt draining. Even answering texts felt like something I had to prepare myself for. But instead of questioning that, I compared myself to everyone else. They were busy but fine. I was busy and barely functioning. One afternoon after a long shift, I realized I had no food at home, so I dragged myself to the grocery store. The lights were too bright, the carts were loud, a kid was screaming somewhere. I went to the soup aisle, because soup is what you buy when you've emotionally given up. I stood there staring at the shelves, and suddenly my body just stopped cooperating. My chest tightened, my hands started shaking, my brain went blank. I remember thinking, why can't I choose soup? And then realizing this wasn't about soup at all. I crouched down, pretending to read labels, hoping no one would notice me falling apart. Then an older woman gently asked if I was okay. And that was it. I started crying. In public. Over soup. I left without buying anything, sat in my car and cried until my head hurt. And instead of being worried about myself, I felt embarrassed. I told myself I was being dramatic. I needed to get it together. After that, things got worse. Getting out of bed felt impossible. Small tasks felt huge. I felt guilty all the time. Eventually, my mom noticed. She told me I sounded different. She said she thought I was burnt out. I laughed at first. Burnout felt like something adults with important jobs got. But after talking to a doctor, something finally clicked. I wasn't lazy. I wasn't broken. I was exhausted in a way rest alone couldn't fix. Burnout doesn't always look dramatic. Sometimes it looks like procrastination, like irritability, like losing interest in things you love. And when you don't understand that, you blame yourself. I had to relearn how to slow down without shame, how to set limits, how to stop treating exhaustion like a personal failure. And I still struggle sometimes, but now I ask a different question. What do I actually need right now? If this feels familiar, I want you to know you're not weak, you're not broken, and you're not alone. Sometimes struggling doesn't mean you're bad at life. It just means you've been strong for too long.